All right. Welcome back to another episode of Magic Talk. Yeah, that's right. It's me.
I'm getting into the spirit.
Of what?
Halloween. I was told that I look like a floating head. Do I still look like a floating head?
No, I think the term was you look like a bobblehead.
Which one is it?
Looks like a floating head.
See? My mom's on my side.
I thought it was a bobblehead.
A floating head with arms and legs.
See?
Ah.
That is the power of green screen, the magic of movie magic. There you go.
It's not
how you
movie
know.
magic, it's black curtains.
So it's black art. I get it.
There you go.
Cool.
So we learned about black art today on today's show. And
you can still see the it's a floating QR sign then too, probably.
there you go. So
advertising, always thinking about
that's
it.
right. We'll be right back right after this.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine. Now on Rough Edge FM.
We are back. So my producer is yelling at me.
I don't think you set up the timeline appropriately.
I don't think so. But is it fair to have a producer that is also your wife and your mom?
And my mom? No, actually, it's not. I'll tell you why. Because, like you said, you're going to get in trouble all the time, and I don't know when that's going to come back around to me. Because I'm the oldest. You know, of course you don't know the lineup of family. You're the baby.
I am the baby.
You suck. The oldest gets the worst of it. The baby. Oh, baby can't do no wrong. Oh my God. Why am I here?
Because you're the oldest and you're the most responsible.
Okay. That's fair.
So anyways, you know the book that I wrote on
Yes.
The Magic Mentor?
Yes.
I have another book I'm working on.
So you just gotten to the point where you want to start writing stuff. You want to be an author.
I got another idea.
You got another bug?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it was the woodshop bug at first. Now it's the book writing thing.
Yeah.
After, what was it?
It'll be done within a couple of months because that's how I tend to roll.
After Frank Williams came here, you got all these ideas that just come flooding into your head now. You're going to have to give him credit.
I have to give Frank credit for writing?
Well, just for getting all this inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Because, he started coming in with his book, then now we started carrying his book, and you're like, that's a great idea. I should start doing that.
I should write a book about his book. So
that's taking one from the late and the greats. Or was that actually Darwin Ortiz did that a lot?
What?
He wrote
a book about a book?
A book about a book. Yeah, actually, there was the Erdnase book. He has his version, which is the annotated Erdnase.
Okay.
We carry that too.
All right.
I'm just saying.
So, one of the things that we do a lot of forewalling.
Okay.
That sounds a little dirty.
For those who don't know the terminology, why don't we explain that to them?
All right. So, four walls is essentially you're going in and you're renting the theater, you're putting on the show, and you're promoting it and selling the tickets and everything else. And the theater doesn't really have anything other than the fact that they are getting rent for it.
Okay. So I just thought it was a room.
It is.
But I was taking it very literally.
Yeah, it's four walls. Yeah.
Four walls is
and with no doors.
A room or a box. That's actually a box. Or a jail cell. A jail cell even has a door. That is a box.
Okay.
Four walls with no doors?
It's a box.
It's a box.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're 4 blocks in it. Quite a bit. Is that not the right term?
No.
Okay. Maybe that's what we'll call it.
What?
Is it a box or is it a room?
Okay. I think we've lost track completely.
There's the name of the title of the book.
Is it a box or is it a room?
Yeah.
That's so open ended. No, I don't even know what it's about.
Okay, so anyways, we do a lot of shows that we end up either renting the theater, and in most cases we don't actually four-wall it in the truest sense where we're paying rent for the theater and we're responsible for everything. We're actually partnering with the theater, and they get a percentage and we get a percentage.
So does that go into any other something different? Because I know what you're talking about with the renting bit, where you just go in and say, hey, at this theater I'll pay you $300 and we're gonna have it from this time to this time, and then you do your show, you sell your tickets, you do all the promoting, everything else about it, and then you make all of the rest of it. All the money that is made is your profit. What you just talked about sounded more like a partnership, or like the
It's split commission, basically.
Okay, so
Yeah.
does that go under some level of producing, like with the theater
Well,
at all, or
you're still same thing. It's just that you're partnering with the theater to help promote. So a lot of shows
so that
in
way
Vegas.
you're not renting the thing. You're kind of, I guess that goes and alleviates the stress of, oh God, and now I need to come up with $300 so I can put my show on, and who knows if I'm going to even break even
Right.
with that $300. Is kind of more.
There's still a lot of stress even if you partner with somebody, because you
Yeah.
got to sell the tickets.
Yes, but
But a lot of shows in Vegas actually four-wall. One of the shows was Rick Thomas. He was responsible for his own billboards. He was responsible for doing all of the promotions, the ticket sales, everything. And then the casino got money for the theater. So it can be a really stressful thing, because everything falls on you, especially if you're gonna. What we tend to do is we also bring in other magicians, so
Yeah.
we're now responsible for paying those other magicians who are getting their guaranteed rate, and then we have to either pay the rent for the building, or we split the commission, but we still have to come up with the money, because the theater is not likely to say, well, if we lose money, we'll split the loss.
Yeah.
They're not going to go that far. It's just going to be, if we make money, we split the profit. But it's a pretty stressful thing. I mean, when you're getting down to the number, and what's interesting about audiences these days is, unless you're Elton John, nobody is buying tickets a year in advance to a show.
Usually, I mean,
Nobody is buying tickets 2 months in advance to a show. It's
yeah.
like within the last week to 2 weeks is the time that you will sell the bulk of all your tickets.
I think even Taylor Swift is experiencing that.
Really?
Yeah. You know of her tour, and she says, okay, I'm going to be here. And they're like, okay. And then once it's there, then they're like, oh, I got to buy tickets. And the tickets are obviously astronomical. Don't even want to think about how it's cheaper to buy a car. I'm going to say that. And then says, but I've noticed it's not like this whole, oh, here's my lineup, buy your tickets now. It's like, here's where I'm going to be now. And then people start buying the tickets like maybe a month in advance. And you just know about the tour and you're waiting for her to be there.
For the tickets to go on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. They might even be not on, or
Well,
on sale, but they don't buy them.
we bought Elton John tickets for his final tour.
Yeah.
At Dodger Stadium. We bought those tickets a year in advance, and they were pretty much sold out. We had to buy from an agency that bought a bunch of tickets,
Well, that's why
to
they were
get it.
sold out.
and so we paid a whole bunch of money. But I mean, it was like people were paying $20,000 to be in the front.
Yeah. It's Elton John.
I know, but
That
still,
is the closest thing to Elvis that you can get.
I can't get people, to spend $10 to be in the front row of my show.
Well, that might be promotion, and it might also be the fact that you're not Elton John.
It could be.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, in the music world, there's God, there's Elvis, and then there's Elton John, and then you got a few others after that. But that is pretty damn close to God right there, being Elvis or Elton John. I mean, sitting on the third seat. That's
Well,
I'd like to
I
be
think
there.
Elvis is already sitting there.
Well, yeah,
Elton John's
he's right next to him.
got a vacant seat that hasn't been filled yet.
No,
So
but it's pretty damn close. That's living royalty. Pretty much, that's what you're looking at.
okay.
We got to be living royalty, and then people will be clamoring to get into the shows.
Well, I'm thinking about going through and writing about the process of doing that and how to fill the seats and things, because we had a few tricks that we were doing in order to get seats filled
Mhm.
and not having to sell them one ticket at a time, but to be able to sell them in a bulk and things of that nature.
So different tips and tricks as to how. Well, one, I'm sure it's certain of like how the 4-wall process works, and then it sounds like there's a little ins and outs with it too, with like partnering with the. We're doing a soft partner with the theater or your venue. And
Yeah,
such.
because then you get to tap into their client base as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of it depends on your wife, because ask your mom like 2 weeks before the show and you're going, we still have all these tickets. I got to pay this guy. What am I going to do about this? And I'm short on that. And I'm short. She's like, do you really want to do this again? No, this is my last one. And then next year it's like, hey, let's rent the Ventura Theater or the Ventura College Theater. And I think I finally figured it out.
Yeah, I really haven't been in those in that situation yet.
No?
Because I am not the baby.
Oh.
Always your words. I'm the responsible one.
Yeah, kind of. All right.
I don't like to live on the edge.
Do we want to bring out the out of the hat, or do we want to bring out trick of the week?
Let's do out of the hat.
Out of the hat.
Why not?
Okay.
I haven't let you go first yet.
So, Julie?
And now it's time for Out of the Hat. Here on Magic Talk with James Lantine.
Oh, I guess out of the hat is mine because it only said with James Lantine.
Yes, that's why I said you go first. And that is such a weird noise.
Out of the hat is the dolls, because that's been around for a while.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
You remember how this works, yes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
So are we overhead, Miss Producer? So the dolls is it's actually.
I love this trick, by the way.
Are you looking up?
I did.
Oh,
See?
okay.
It's a little dark.
A little dark.
Can you see the dolls? Well, let's go and
Hit the other switch on. We'll deal with the little glare on the TV. There we go. So the dolls is Sean McMaster's, the dolls, but it's actually
It's Sean McMaster. Sean McMaster's.
Oh, Sean McMaster's.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Sean
sorry.
McMaster.
Sean is. Oh my gosh, Sean, I am so sorry. It took me the longest time to say McMaster when I'd introduce him, because I always said McMaster's. And Sean, it's not my fault because I saw the apostrophe S and it just made my tongue say Masters. So anyways, it's Sean McMaster. He produced these. They are actually cute little dolls. And the story that he has is pretty cute as well. But it's a concept after the Bermuda Triangle.
It's one of those bizarre types of magic tricks.
Yeah,
Kind of leaves you with a head scratcher at the end of it.
it does. And like I said, it's you set it up in kind of a triangle. I'm not going to do the whole setup because it's hard to demo, but you set it up in a triangle. And so you have all these dolls laid out. And then you give somebody a few dolls and you say, place one of the dolls. So you add them up and you say, okay, so if you add this up, there's, give me one more doll there. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So add a doll. So if we take that doll and we move him there, and we take this doll and we move him here, we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even though we added one, they still all add up to 6. And you can continue to add and add and add. And the story he uses is about how these are worry dolls. So you can whisper your worries to the doll. It then takes it from one tribe to another. And then ultimately one of the dolls leaves the tribe and takes your worry with it.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a couple of ways to present this one. I actually tried to come up with a way myself that was more of a spooky, scary style story. But the whole idea is that you can go and just continue to add and add and add and add one doll.
and the values never change.
Yeah, the sides, we're adding from here to here, here to here, here to here, always adds up. I think with his, it's up to what, 13?
Yes.
So it's because you have a different
But you know,
number.
you can do it with 6. I could do it.
Yeah.
So you can do it with any, pretty much any kind of number you want.
But it works every single. I think I've gotten through the entire bag because you have all of these extra dolls, and he recommends what, and this is
I think
par
doing
for the
it 3
course.
times or
Yeah,
so.
which is pretty much par for the course for any performance because you don't want to overdo the thing. That's like doing a.
Sean's calling and
Oh.
he's yelling at me saying, "It's McMaster."
Sure.
No, he's on a cruise. I know it's not him.
I was gonna say, for real?
Yeah. So, anyways, this actually, there's a concept that we were doing called the Bermuda Triangle. And what we did was we used this in Magic Math. We used it with pennies.
Yeah.
And we put 3 pennies in the center of the triangle, and they could add them to the pile. And then it's like, how many pennies are in the center? None. Yet they still all add up to the same.
Yeah.
So it's a really good effect also to use in Math Magic if you want to teach the kids. Which in the Magic Mentor, it talks about using magic as an educational foundation, and this is one of those things that you can do in that book in order to teach kids some basic math skills.
Yeah, this one I definitely like. I don't necessarily. I actually don't do it at all like Sean presents it because he does it as a. It takes your worry away.
Right.
I treat it as a curse because they look kind of like a little curse doll, and whenever you find the little curse doll on your person, it's you are cursed for like it's like seeing a black cat. Or
So
walking
you take one of
underneath
these.
the ladder.
You take one of these dolls after the end of the show, and you plant it on them, so that they find it later on.
No, it
and
just
now
appears.
you cursed them.
No, it appears. It shows up on their person.
Right. So you cursed them.
I guess I did because it magically appears. I don't do it. I don't know how it happens. Seriously, it's weird.
It just walks off, and it appears on somebody,
Yeah.
and now they're cursed.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. So these sell
Kinda mean,
for
isn't it?
it is. These sell for $25, and it is Sean McMaster, plural, the dolls. So ownership,
Ownership. Yeah.
possessive, the dolls. So it sells for $25. We have a few of these in stock. It is actually a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
And it can be very educational for the kids. If you're doing any kind of kids magic, believe it or not, you could actually use this as a means of teaching them basic math skills.
Yeah.
So,
And like I said, you have all of these extra ones, and I've gone through the entire bag once.
and it still adds up.
It still adds up.
Yeah.
It never changes. I'm blown away by it myself.
And there's a mathematical principle behind it.
Maybe that's why it blows me away. 'Cause
No,
it's
you suck
all-
at math.
no, I don't. All the mathematic tricks are always like, how the heck did somebody come up with this and make it work? Because it shouldn't work, but it does.
Cool. Well, my book has just been sent off to Murphy's Magic, so we'll see if they're gonna pick it up and cover it in their store
Nice.
called the Magic Mentor. So October 8th, I believe, we have a friend, Greg, who you oftentimes have seen in the show, will be doing his audition at the Magic Castle. So we hope that all goes well.
On the 8th,
Yes, I believe it's the 8th.
that is a Tuesday next week.
Yes, I believe so. I have something going on, so I'm not going to be able to be there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes.
It's also my nephew's birthday.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to
It's a
you.
week out.
Happy. Well, we're not going to have a show before his birthday.
You can call him.
Okay.
He's not going to watch this.
He's not going to watch the show. I know. Anyways, so we have Halloween coming up, is obviously a big deal for Magic because of Houdini and all of that kind of stuff. What I find interesting is how Magic got associated with Halloween. Now I know Magic and witchcraft and all of that kind
Yeah.
of stuff,
Kind of the start of it.
but Magic was, entertainment Magic tries to break away from this whole witchcraft thing, and that's not what Magic is.
all.
Yet we
in
kind
your
of
time.
We kind of embrace Halloween as being the Magic time of the year.
Yes, in your time and your generation, we'll say that was very much the case. I noticed that. They say, hey, we're not actual, we're not Wiccan magic. We're not
Right.
It's not magic with a K. It's magic with a C. And in my time, in my generation, magic with a K became really cool. And then now all the magicians are like, yeah, let's lean into that because it can be really cool actually casting spells. I mean, Harry Potter, for God's sakes. It's like, let's actually cast spells and really do all this stuff, because wouldn't that be amazing if you could go and make yourself invisible or float or change your appearance? I mean, everyone can change their appearance now, but like that, just change your appearance. That would be amazing.
I've been invisible my whole life.
So then how amazing it is. It's phenomenal. It's a work of God. It's like, my goodness, holy crap.
Yeah, I just, it's funny because
Times do change. It's interesting to see how they do change and how the interests evolve.
what I want to know is, do you really think Harry Houdini died on Halloween, or did they keep him alive because he so wanted to die on Halloween?
That's the mystery.
It doesn't that, I mean, does that not seem feasible?
I think if I were to go and be a believer, he died on Halloween.
So not that he was preserved and kept
No.
to say that he.
Because there's much better ways to do that too. I could go and kill you now and then say, oh, I found his body. He must have died on Halloween, because I don't just tell anybody until Halloween happens.
Well, that's like 20 some odd days away.
Still, I mean,
There would be some decomposition there.
you're the one who tells me all the time with all the crap you put in your body that you're preserved like you've been embalmed.
Oh, so now you're talking about killing me.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like if you go and you say it, if you just tell people on a specific time, then it happened at that specific time, because who's the wiser? Nobody knows. If you don't put it online, if you don't put it on social media, it never happened.
Okay, but back then, A, there was no social media.
Even better.
B,
Don't put it in the paper.
people would kind of believe. I mean, look at the sign in half back then.
Yeah.
You could fit an elephant in the box, and
Yeah.
people were still like, oh,
Yeah. It's amazing.
it was. So
But-
I want to live back then, because could you imagine doing magic today and going back in time and showing that magic then?
You would be burned at the stake.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be alive.
That's a good point.
Because it wouldn't look like actual witchcraft.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, you would petrify everybody. They all want to kill you.
So we have a deck of cards. These were actually out last Halloween, weren't they?
They were. Excuse me. That was
And
very loud.
so Julie, let's do PCAA.
There is an outbreak among us. It is limited to only a small portion of our population. They have a sickness. They have an addiction. They collect bicycle playing cards, which is bad for them, but great for us because we have almost 500 decks of playing cards to choose from. They'll go crazy in here. They'll spend every last penny they... This is their story. This is Playing Cards Anonymous here on Magic Talk.
So we haven't figured out, obviously, the one-handed shuffle yet.
That's hard. Let me see. Here.
But
here.
Sharpo does it.
It's hard.
I mean, I'm not trying to say anything, Sharpo, by the way. But
He can do it,
but
so it
he
must be
does
great. It must be easy. No, it's very hard to do.
So, all right.
Practicing it.
Well, Sharpo
working for me.
spends an awful lot of time working through things.
He told me how long it took him to learn that. I haven't been practicing it that long.
Yeah.
It was
I'd probably be dead by the time I practiced it that much.
it's something.
So
But,
these are Halloween cards.
This is called Knocktober. The Knocktober deck is a Knock style deck, but it is with the orange.
I think we might be overhead.
Okay, let's see. It is with the cards are orange, like the style of a pumpkin.
But
And-
what's cool about this orange is if you have a black light,
Yes, they are black
They
light
illuminate.
reactive. The entire deck is black light reactive, and it's not just the that. It is the faces of it too. I wish I had a black light to show you guys because it's all of the red cards. Well, red cards are also black light illuminated, or they're reactive. So they glow with that type of yellow tinge to them, or not yellow, but what is it? More
it's like
purple.
a glow in the dark, stars or whatever that you get.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's these all react that way, and the backs all react that way.
Now, are these backs? Are they the kind where you touch them and you get all your greasy fingers and everything on the cards, or
Actually, no. This one it's more like the you remember the Knock Originals or the Knock Pure. It's more like that. It's actually more of a quality USPCC style.
Okay.
Cards. I know there's a couple of Knocks out there that are a lot less as quality, and they are thick. They are plasticky. They clump together a lot because of the oils and everything. These ones, it actually behaves more like I want to say more. What would you expect out of a Theory 11, a modern Theory 11?
okay?
So the ferro actually is nice. You have the ferro from the back, and
What would be cool is if you have a Halloween gig and they're going to have black lights there.
that'd be amazing.
This is how you perform.
Yeah, I will say that with these cards, they look nice the way they are, but they look
Even
better.
They look
Way,
cool without the black light, but they look really cool with it.
Yeah, much better with this. You do get some nice cards in there too. You get a double back. You also get a where'd it go? You get a blank face. It's somewhere here. Oh, Jokers. That's the one thing I don't like with it. It's you don't have identical Jokers. They look nice. They're pretty
identical,
cool.
but they're not identical colors.
Yeah, that's kind of like a. There it is. Look how deceptive that is. It actually hides. But kind of like a standard bike. They have the colored Joker and then the black and white Joker.
Right.
And
So, how much does this deck sell for?
This deck, I believe it's October.
So while he's looking that up, we actually have a new Facebook group called Respecting the Craft. And this group is designed to essentially is to give a lot more thorough reviews about products where we can go a little bit more in depth because it is a private group. It's also about respecting the craft in the sense that people are not divulging the secrets. And I actually had a conversation. I had a show this weekend and I had a conversation with somebody and they're like, tell me how it's done. Tell me how it's done. And I said, you know what? The secret really isn't all that important. The reason why I'm not going to tell you the secret is because if I do, when you watch this trick, part of the fun is, oh my gosh, how did he do that? Oh, wow. How could he have? Oh my gosh. How did that happen? Oh, I can't believe this. And
That's impossible.
the thrill of trying to figure it out. And sometimes you're just like, I have no idea. But other times you're going through this whole thing of trying to figure it out, but you don't really know if you ever figured it out or not.
It's impossible.
Yeah, if you learn how something is done, one, you learn that really that's it.
Most of the time, that's
yeah.
my reaction.
And then if you know how it's done and you watch the trick, you're like, all right, big deal. I know how it's done.
I think for a lay person, yes, that is a problem.
Yeah.
You have 2 comments
What's that?
from Frank Zazanis.
Oh, that's Frank Zazanis. Frank Williams.
Yes.
The first one was, it is easy once you get it down. I'm not sure what you were talking about at that point.
I think that's probably the shuffle.
And then the older the deck, the easier the one-hand shuffle is, from my experience. Also, if you put a downward bow in the deck, it makes it much more fluid.
Okay.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you. I'm actually going to put that in my practice now.
All right. So check out the Facebook comment if you want to learn how to do a one-handed shuffle. Frank was kind enough to kind of give some details out about it.
Well, those are some tips and tricks. I was by no means going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
That's it's hard work, man. It's not easy to do. I only recently started.
And the other advice is use a crappy deck.
Yeah. And practice over your bed so you don't have to play 52 card pickup on the floor
All the time.
all the time.
Okay. What was I just talking about?
We were talking about how it is not fun. Okay, it's not fun to go and reveal secrets because then it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as a magician, when we watch magic, we're watching it for the creativity, for the skill. We obviously know how a lot of the stuff is done, but it's like, wow, he really did that well. And, we have a different level of interest in magic. For a lot of people.
Yeah, I can still get floored.
Yeah. I do too.
That's truly amazing when I see it.
Yeah, that's true. But for a lay person, their interest isn't in magic the same way ours is. So if they know how a trick is done, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I know where it's coming from. I really do. At least from the conversations that I've had with people, it's
how much?
That one is 15. And just another note of it. This is it's a cutout in the box too, which is really cool. So you get the when you have the blacklight reactive. The black light, it'll react and have glowing eyes and a glowing mouth.
Nice.
So it's a nice jack-o'-lantern face. But back onto the lay audience and such, I think it's a level of insecurity where a lot of that comes from with your audience members, because they don't want to look stupid, which I do know, especially from other magicians, that was a thing, especially back in the day. There were a lot of magicians that they were making you out to be the fool. Basically, you were being fooled wasn't fun because it made you look stupid. I know we've had much better, or I'll say it, yeah, much better influences in that regard, where we have magicians or older magicians and more notable and experienced magicians who go and say that's not the way to do it. You don't want to make your audience look stupid. Don't make your audience look stupid because
they're doing a good enough job on their own.
Well,
no, I'm sorry. Oh no, wait, that's not what you meant. Okay.
No. See, that's an example of the magician that you don't want to be like. Actually, I think it was Howard Hamburg who told me that's the last thing you want to do is make your audience look stupid.
Right.
And to go and be really careful with the way you script your things and word your things, because if you were to go and script it a certain way, it's no better than saying, no, stupid, that's not how it's done.
Right.
Versus if you were to go and say, it's more, wow, this is a mystery for me too.
Right.
And it becomes a journey then between you and your audience. And I think that's where it needs to change. People don't want to know the secret if it becomes a journey. If you're going on a journey with them, because then it's fun. And that, what you were talking about with you want to keep the fun and the excitement alive. That's kind of where the fun and the excitement comes in.
Right.
They are not against you anymore. They're with you. And I think that's probably one of the things that needs to be taught to up and coming magicians. It's like, they're not your enemy, and vice versa.
Yeah. It's not a competition. You're not trying to fool them and they're not trying to outthink you.
Yeah. At least
So-
they shouldn't be.
Right.
You don't have to go.
Don't make it a competition.
You don't have to act like Ricky Jay. You know? I'll call him out. Yeah, he was not cool.
Although he
He was phenomenal.
He
He was
was phenomenal.
He was a wonderful magician, but he was just a.
I was okay with him making me feel stupid.
You're okay with Ricky Jay making you feel stupid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I guess another thing for the times.
okay, we got to wrap this up, and so we're gonna do the item of the week.
Item of the week. Okay.
Is it good? Should I buy it? Does it suck? Did I get ripped off? Is it more of a craft project than a magic trick? These questions and more answered now on the Magic Item of the Week here on Magic Talk.
All right. So today's item of the week is these colored balls.
What's it called?
We are so prepared.
Well, this one you kind of threw a.
I did.
Threw a
While you're looking up, I have two more comments.
Okay.
from Frank. I have an essay in Authentic Fabrications called "The Brave Deserve More" on that very topic, and the lesson routine in my book also demonstrates that point. It's a suckerless silk to egg.
That's a. You know what? That is a very good point. We should promote his book. In relation to that, because his whole book is about scripting
Right.
and he really breaks down the process of scripting your magic show, or not even your magic show, but your tricks. And because scripting doesn't have to be as scary as people make it out to be.
Right.
Maybe we talk about that next time.
Well, we should get Frank on the show and
We
let
should.
him come out and talk about it.
We should. Frank, you want to do that?
So that's your official invite, Frank. So these, this is a mentalist type effect. I think if you put it in balls, you'll find it somewhere. This is a mentalist type of effect. And you have all these different colored balls. It's almost, the reason why I pulled this out this week is because it's almost like the trick we did last week for item of the week.
I know
Where you were able to detect the ball, the person who had the black ball.
So is it a sleuth ball?
Yes, but it's not
Sleuth.
it's not called sleuth ball, but
He's down.
He's down. Cool.
all right.
We'll come up with a date.
So what you can do with this is you can close the box, you can turn around. One of the demos on this is the person picked up a random ball. So the magician's back was turned. He picked up a random ball, and the magician would say, "Okay, put that in your pocket." And then he'd pick up another ball. And he'd say, "Put this in your jacket pocket." And he'd pick up another ball. He'd say, "Put this in your back pocket," and so on. And then after he was done, he could say, "All right, you took the green ball and you stuck it in your back pocket. You took the blue ball and you had it in your jacket pocket. You took the purple ball." So you can actually tell them every place that the balls were put in. Another thing you do is you could detect who has the red ball or who has the green ball. So literally you can detect every color. And these balls are really, I mean, they're beautifully made. I'm not sure exactly how they made them. Huh?
Are you looking for the name?
Yes.
It's called Mind Ball.
Mind ball.
225.
225. Why was your mom able to find it faster than you?
I was not being. I did not interrupt you.
Oh,
I found it too.
okay. So Mind Ball,
Yes,
it works with any color. So you can use all the 5 colors if you'd like, or you could have 5 random people take a ball and you can say who has the red ball, or who has the green ball, or whatever color you want to do. It's beautifully made. It's got a really nice looking box. And we talked about the dream table, and one of the things that we had specified is, and I don't think we did a review, is on Respecting the Craft. So by the way, if you want to be a member of Respecting the Craft, go to that group on Facebook, and you can't have any videos that do any type of product reveals or anything like that unless it's an educational type thing. And so there is a little bit of vetting that goes on before we let you into the room, because we are letting go of certain secrets and things of that nature. But one of the things is, for Josh and I, we have 3 criteria that we go by. One is the trick worth the value that they're charging?
Yeah.
And so Dream Table was selling for $1,200. In our opinion, at best, maybe $800.
Yeah, it was too many problems.
Yeah. The other thing is it a quality product? And the third thing is it oh gosh, how do we call it? Is it reliable?
Yeah.
And so in this particular case, I do think this is worth $225, because I think the balls are really nicely done. The case itself and everything like that is done. The mechanics behind it are pretty clever.
Yeah.
And
I think they have another one too that you don't have to use the colored balls. They have refills and stuff.
Yeah, you can
kind of like the sleuth ball, the sleuth one. It's like that, except they're larger, more stage version.
4 balls, 1 black one, 4 white ones.
Yeah.
And you can tell who has the black one.
Yeah.
So they do have couple of versions of this. So I do think it's worth the money. It is very reliable, and I think it's very well made. It's one of our more quality looking products on the shelf. So that is called Mind Ball for $225, and I believe we have a couple of them in stock. So if you're interested, check it out. Anything else?
I think that is it. For all those who are practicing magicians, and who have the ability to travel up here to Santa Paula, California, on Sunday we do have our Magic Burrow, and that's from 1 to 3.
Yeah, basically a magic club for magicians without the politics.
Yeah. All magicians are welcome, practicing or professional. So,
or enthusiasts.
Yes, that too.
A
little less specific than the respecting the craft. So as long as you're not coming in for a free magic show, then you're welcome.
You're good. So that's this Sunday. Again, Respecting the Craft is Facebook group if you want to sign up for that. And keep an eye out for my new book called The Magic Mentor. Other than that,
I think that's it. I have to relieve my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at White Rabbit,
I'm a dutiful husband.
I know you are. At White Rabbit Magic,
we believe in magic.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.
It didn't do the thing like it normally does.